What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to a dose of Pokemon. Today I want to share with you guys about the Japanese sets. I've made past videos talking about the English sets. This time I'm going to be talking about Japanese sets that are hot right now that I personally would add to my collection. And we're going to start things off with the hottest one right now. It's going to be the Glory of Team Rocket. And the English set of this Destined Rivals is coming out at the end of May. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys, Black Bolt and White Flare is not on this list. This is for the month of May 2025. You know, once that does come out and we see more price drops, then I may add that into the month of June. We'll see. But when we come to the Glory of Team Rocket, here's what I have to say. This does come down to ultimately you and whether you want to pick it up right now or just wait until prices continue to drop. But for example, let's go to the Glory of Team Rocket booster box right here. And we see the market price of it dropping significantly. You know, at April 18th to 20th, it was sitting at $187. And it has since dropped to 137-ish, around $136.87. And you know, we got people here selling it for $132, $133, $135. So my thing is, with this Glory of Team Rocket, I have yet to add it to my collection, but this will continue to drop in price as, again, it becomes more available. And honestly, I think this was overhyped. This set was overhyped. You know, it's a good set, but I guess it wasn't the Team Rocket set everyone was looking for. So I guess that really does play a role. But 136 obviously for a Japanese booster box is way too much. Like I used to pick them up at like $30, $40. And now 130 is obviously too much. But when you look at the singles for these, I mean, let's go ahead and go from price from high to low. Let's look at this Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Yeah, this is a really nice card, by the way. But the current market price is sitting at $396. We've got people selling it for, look at this. We got people selling it for like $289, $289, $280, like $300. But the market price was sitting at $500 at one point when it first released and has since dropped to $280. So that does say a lot. That truly does say, hey, this card is definitely not going to be worth $500. Yes, it is a great card, but is it worth that? Probably not. Let's go to Team Rocket's Moltres, which is the second most valuable card in the set, sitting at a market price of $175, but people are selling for $145, $150, $148, and it's definitely has also dropped like from $250 down to like $145. So like $100 decrease for this Team Rocket's Moltres EX. So while I would personally recommend picking this up and adding it to your collection, I'd also say wait just a little bit longer until, you know, this set does drop in price. So that's number one, Glory of Team Rocket. Number two is actually going to be Heatwave Arena. And this one, finally, I mean, I was able to pick it up because it has dropped to a point where like, okay, now I can, you know, I'll be able to purchase this. So it's sitting at a market price, the booster box sitting at a market price of $83.93. When we look at when it first released in March, it was sitting at $131. Again, that's way too much for a box. I just can't justify, especially for a Japanese box, I can't justify paying, you know, $131 for that. But, you know, in the past month and a half-ish, it has since dropped to a market price of $83. But I was personally able to pick this up for $70 for one box. So it has since, you know, definitely dropped way less. I mean, way more than, I guess it's cheaper than Glory of Team Rocket. I guess that's to be expected. But let's look at the past month. You see this little dip. Yes, it dropped to 76, but went back up to like $83. I think this is also going to continue to have a drop as well, because let's take a look at the singles as well. And we see singles here. Cynthia's Garchomp, for example, right here. When it first released, $348.22, and it has since dropped to a market price of $229.10, you know, $220. So you can technically buy this with obviously shipping, but $220, $230 for this Garchomp EX. Again, it has significantly dropped. Let's even take a look at Ethan's Ho-Oh EX, which I think is a better card, like a better artwork at least. And this was sitting at $270, and it has since dropped to a market price of $149. People, again, they're selling it for $148, $149, $150, and I see, I see why. It's dropping and dropping, and I think we can hold on just a little bit longer. Like, I think I remember this Cynthia's Garchomp EX. I couldn't even say that right. The ultra rare was at one point sitting around the hundreds, if I'm not mistaken. It was in the high 80s, low 90s, I remember. And now it's sitting at market price of 53. I mean, if you want to buy it for $45, go right ahead. You're more than welcome to. They even put the photos here. Let's take a look at those photos. And here it is. Actually, really nice, near mint. So yeah, Heatwave Arena is definitely going to be a set I would add to your collection. Now, obviously, these are a little bit, they're new and there's still some hype around it. Don't get me wrong, like, yes, the hype for Gloria Team Rocket, Heatwave Arena, they're slowing down, but there's still some hype rather than like the later sets we're going to talk about. But let's move on to the third set, which we're kind of going in order, but it makes sense. Battle Partners. Again, this set is new. It came out in January of 2025. This is Journey Together, essentially, and this has been pretty stagnant, I guess, for the past month. Like, you see, like, it's like going up and down, but it's like in the within $5 range, so it's not changing too much, but it's kind of staying stagnant at in the past month around like the 70s, $75 to $80 price range. But yeah, I remember when it first released, it was sitting at $112. That was way too much, by the way. It has since dropped. And again, I was able to pick it up around like $74, $75 for a booster box. And again, booster boxes are the first product I would recommend picking up, especially, with Japanese, there's really just booster box and like single packs that you can pick up. And that it's different than the English ones where you get like Elite Trainer box, you get like these collection boxes, booster bundles, all that stuff. Not really with the Japanese sets. When we take a look at the chase card, Lily's Clefairy, $243. Let's see how it fares in the past 6 months. It was sitting at $474.67, and it has since dropped to $243.65. Whoa, there are people selling this for $175, $178, essentially $180 for near mint. That is saying a whole lot. Like, it dropped from 400, even 500 at one point when it first released, to just $180. So again, I think that we're at a point where we can slowly start, if you want to get into singles, slowly start looking into singles with Journey Together. But again, you want to make sure you don't pass your budget. You have a set budget, because look, Pokemon's continuously releasing new products, whether you're just invested into collecting Japanese cards or English or even both. You want to make sure you have a budget. Now, the fourth set, I feel like I'm just going off like in order, but I'm really not. There's going to be a couple more sets here that are not really in order that I personally would pick up and add to my collection. But Terrestrial Festival is going to be one I would add. Let's go to shop packs right here. So the box right here is obviously, it's a special set, so it contains 10 booster packs with 10 random cards. And this in the past 3 months has actually seen an uptick. So it went from like $99 in February, and it's been sitting around a market price of $113. Let's see how it's fared in this past 6 months. And as you can see right here, like, it was pretty low in December. It was sitting pretty low. Actually, I kind of want to go back to a year. From $85, it dropped to like $81. And the reason why is, like, I was able to pick this up mainly because right before actually this whole Pokemon craze started, I was also able to pick up the Prismatic Evolutions exclusive Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, and that's when like the craze started. But there are really good cards in this set. Let's see what we get. This is Korean. This is another Korean. So you can see right here, people are selling like Indonesian version, Korean versions for much cheaper, which if you want to add those different languages, you can. But if you want to just go strictly Japanese, it's $113 in a market price. And that really does come down to you whether you want to pay that or not. I don't know how well, if the prices with this will continue to drop. But At least with Prismatic Evolutions, there's been a slight decrease in price, so that's a plus because I've been seeing at least online more restocks, but I haven't come across any Prismatic Evolutions, at least in my experience. So that's unfortunate. Then we come to the Japanese, and I actually got scared for a moment because I have this Espeon EX, but the English, and I was like, wait, this is a card that I have that's like $400. Why is it showing 66 plus the Japanese version? And as you can see in the past 6 months, yeah, it went up, like during that craze, it went up to $93. It has since dropped back down to $66. But with this one, as you can see, like the Umbreon EX is the most valuable card, and it's only sitting in the 300s. I'm saying only because like when you want to compare it to the English print of this Umbreon EX, that's like in like the 1500s. Could be a little bit lower. I don't remember off the top of my head. But you can see that this has kind of dropped in price too. You know, it's sitting at high 380s in March, and it has dropped into like the lower 330s. Some people right here are selling it for $310, $315. So if you want to go ahead and pick it up at that price, I don't know. It's really up to you. I don't think I would be, if I went and bought this, like that would take a chunk of my budget. So I would kind of take a step back and wait for it to maybe drop. But there's so many great cards in Terrestrial Festival. Like, I think it's worth having this and adding it to your collection. Now, there's two more sets that I want to talk about, and they're actually going to be, first one's going to be Wild Force. This one I think is really good because I personally think you're getting great cards, and as you can see in the past 3 months, it went up in price. It was sitting at $44.56, and it has since went up to $60 for this set. I think this set is going to long-term do well over time because it's the Paradox versions of Entei, Suicune, and Raikou, Walking Wake, Gouging Fire, and Raging Bolt. So I think over time this will perform really well. If we take a look at the past year, it was sitting at what, like $37 when it first released, and kind of it went up, up, and yeah, like you see that graph, it's slowly gone up in the past year. I mean, you can buy it right now. Someone's selling it Korean for $45. Again, you want to read these if you do end up buying from TCG Player, but if you want to buy just the Japanese, sitting at like $61, around $60, $61. So this is one I would personally pick up, and let's take a look at the cards real quick because I think we got some good stuff in here. We got some really decent stuff. We got the Raging Bolt, Special Art Rare, and then Gouging Fire, which is my favorite. Entei is my favorite Pokemon. We got right here. And in the past month, I mean, we can see that how it, increased in price significantly. Yes, it's only like $10, $15, but for $34, I honestly still would pick this up. I probably would because I just really like Gouging Fire, and well, it's because it's the Paradox version of Entei. And then we got Walking Wake right here, which is its third most, but these are some really nice artworks that I think over time they will perform well. If we take a look at the past, okay, that's showing lightly played. Let's do near mint. In the past year, sitting in the 20s, again, that went up to like the 30s. So it's not like a huge like $20 to $60 range. The range is much smaller, but we're still getting good cards from here. We're getting the ultra rares, like the golds of each of them: Waking Bolt, Gouging Fire, Walking Wait. We're just getting the regular full arts. We're getting the regular EXs. We got this Ghastly illustration rare, which the English one is actually very good. But overall, this is a part of the English set of Temporal Forces. And that's also a set I personally would recommend picking up because of this. And the counterpart to this is Cyber Judge. Again, I think it's a set that's over time going to perform really well. As you can see in the past 3 months, we've seen an increase in price from like $41 to $57. And the past year, again, from $29 to $57.59 for this box. Again, when you scroll down, you look at the listings, make sure you're buying the Japanese unless you want the Korean version. In the past year, it went up $30. And I think over time, it will continue to go up. And once the print cycle runs out, like the print run just finishes, I think it will definitely go up even more. I mean, look at this. This Iron Boulder EX illustration rare is sitting at $13. And in the past year, what? It was sitting at like $10 at one point. For a special illustration rare. Yes, it's a Japanese version, but Now it's sitting at $14. I think that's a perfect pickup for just, you know, a regular single. And then we come to Iron Leaves right here. This has actually seen a price drop by a couple dollars. In the past year, look at that. In the past year, it was actually, you know, sitting in the high 20s and low 20s. So this didn't really change too much, actually. And then we got Iron Crown, which is also seeing a small drop in price. It was sitting at one point at $33. And yeah, I mean, when first released, it was high 20s, then dropped to low 20s. So they're all sitting like to $20s to $30 range, at least for those two. And then we got Bianca's Devotion, which is the most expensive. Let's see, let's filter the sales. And in the past year, this has definitely seen like a change too. Again, you can see the range, like it's only like a $4 range in the past year. And obviously it has to look at the sales and how many sales are being made through it, but it's not really changing too much. I think over time, this set is going to increase, like the price of these cards will increase. Yes, how many of these cards are like really worth adding to your collection? That's not too many. I mean, there are not too many really, really good sought after cards in this set, but nonetheless, I think it's a good set. If you see boxes like this for like $30, $40, $50, I wouldn't hesitate picking them up, because over time you will see like every single product that I've picked up that, you know, were not performing well like 4 or 5 years ago, even those products have seen an increase in price. So I would personally recommend picking them up at these prices. But there are so many more other sets. I mean, I didn't go into like Shining Treasure EX. We've got Transformation Mask and Crimson Haze, which are part of Twilight Masquerade. We got Night Wander, which is Shrouded Fable, Stellar Miracle, which is part of Stellar Crown, and like there's so many other things like Paradise Dragona and a Super Electric Breaker that I didn't talk about that are worth picking up, because there are so many. Like, I mean, I wish people, if you know, more people were on this. I mean, I remember picking this up at like $40 to $50. Yeah, around this time, like in the low 50s. And now it's sitting at $102 for Super Electric Breaker. Let's just quickly take a look at the cards. Yeah, the Pikachu EX is sitting at a market price of $219. And in the past year, yeah, it definitely, like I saw, it dropped briefly and then went back up to $228. Now it's sitting at $220. You can find it technically for like $202 for a near mint. But those are the main 6 sets that I personally would add to my collection. Again, this is just like this is just my personal opinion, I guess you can say, or just, you know, products that I would add, that I would recommend. Obviously, there are so many other recommendations, but most importantly, you want to make sure you have a budget. If your budget is $100 a month, you plan accordingly. And if it's $500, again, you plan accordingly. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. Definitely comment down below your thoughts, comments, whatever it is. We're getting super close to our goal of 1,000 subscribers here on the channel, so stay tuned. Definitely be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of content is coming real soon in the next couple months. I am planning on just adding more content to this, and you know, one of the big goals obviously is to monetize the channel, and with monetization I'll be able to take whatever is made with this channel, invest it right back into the channel. So I'm super excited, and I get to bring more content. There's so many content ideas. Obviously, you know, working with my other main channels too, I kind of have to set aside time for this as well. But hopefully this will continue to grow. The Dose of Pokemon channel family and, you know, everyone who supports the channel will also continue to grow. But that's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.